Hi, and welcome to a little introduction to the Meet Me conference service from Kudo. We're all starting to work in different places. There's a lot more demand for collaboration. So here's a really cool little service that you can get, and it costs you nothing except when you're using it. This is Meet Me Conferencing, and it allows all of your team members the opportunity to be a conference room holder. Any of the members of your team can be a moderator, which means they have their own private meeting room with their own entry codes. They can send Outlook calendar invites and arrange meetings in the normal way that you would for a physical meeting. They're able to hear and see people arriving in the meeting room, and if they like, they can lock the meeting room so that nobody can come in by accident and join the meeting. Highly functional and very easy to use. And it can be used multiple times by different people in the company at the same time. Because everybody has a different moderator pin, everybody can set up their meeting room and have their guests come in without any fear of crossover. And if you want to record those meeting room events, you can. But if you're already having your personal calls or your extension calls recorded, you'll find the meeting room calls just in your normal recordings repository. So, it's pretty simple. Why don't we just jump in and see how it works? The first thing we have to do when we're doing a meeting is to set up a meeting. So I'm going to go into my Outlook and I'm going to set up a meeting, and I'm going to go to this little plugin which we're able to send you for your Outlook services. I'll go in, I'll select the conference detail, and I'll say that I want to set up a conference bridge. It's then going to include the dial-in codes and the conference ID. This is specific to me as a extension user, and it's going to populate the main event there. I'm going to call this test demo because that's what we're doing, and I'm going to invite my colleague Charlotte, who's sitting ready to help us with the demonstration in the meeting room miles away from where I am. So I've sent that invitation in the normal way. If I now open up that meeting, you'll see what Charlotte has got, the details that I'm asking her to follow when I go in. But what I'm now going to do is I'm going to jump into my meeting room. Now, I have a moderator pin, which I have to remember, and if I forget it and I'm a Unity user, I can go to the conference button on Unity. I can look at my conference bridge, and there you'll see that I can either show the details, copy the details to clipboard, or rather than messing about like that, I can just jump straight into the conference bridge as a moderator. So let's click to dial and do that. You hear my phone ringing.
Record your name after the tone and press hash.
Ian Sinnott.
Welcome to the Voice 2000 conference bridge. You will now be placed into the conference. You are the first participant in the conference. To turn off the music, press hash. Press star for help.
Okay, that's pretty easy. I've now set up my meeting room and I've logged in as the moderator and I'm waiting for my guest to arrive. That's how quickly you can do it. You don't even have to remember your own login details. We're now going to ask Charlotte to dial in to the meeting room, and we'll show you the details of, or we'll let you see the detail of somebody joining your meeting room.
Please record your name after the tone and press hash.
Charlotte.
You will now be placed into the conference. Press star for help.
Charlotte.
Okay, so that latest voice that you heard was Charlotte coming into the meeting room, and that played out of the phone that I've dialed into the meeting room. So now I know that Charlotte has joined the conference. But it may be that you don't want people to announce themselves coming in, because if people arrive late, it can be a bit disconcerting. So you have the option of setting up the conference not to play an announcement when somebody comes in. And you may prefer to use a second app that comes from the Outlook plugin, and that's the visual controller. Here's the visual controller, and you can see that Ian Sinnott is the moderator of this meeting, and Charlotte has joined the conference call. As more people join, I then have control over each and every one of them, and if I want to stop Charlotte from talking, if she's interrupting the meeting too much, I can put her on mute and unmute her whenever I like. If I want to have a discussion with other members of the conference meeting, without Charlotte being able to hear us, I can put her on hold.
The moderator has placed your call on hold.
I can then have a discussion and then invite her back in, knowing that she hasn't overheard that discussion.
Your call is retrieved. Now joining the conference. Press star for help.
So you've got full control over the people in it. If I wanted to chuck Charlotte out of the meeting, I can just press end. And if I want to lock the meeting room just to be sure that nobody else joins the conference, I can also do that. So I know that I've got a closed environment to work in. That's almost everything, but of course, in business, measurement and management are just as important as the tools that we give our staff to use. So within the UBOS portal, which is your portal, which you get to see all of your call recordings, all of your call processes, lots and lots of reports, we have a special report that helps you understand how the conference bridge is being used and how your staff are getting on with it. So if I go into the calls report and I go down to the conference bridge, I'm just going to look up and see how much conference bridge work our company has done this week. So if I put a search in on that, it's going to bring up all the people who've used the conference bridge, the number of conferences that they've had, and the total duration time that they have utilized on the bridge. So I'm going to pop in here and have a little look. Here's some conferences that I've been involved in or that I've run. Let's have a look and see here. We can see the 4 participants that were involved in the conference and all the durations of that conference. So just to make sure that we're utilizing the tools and we're getting the benefit out of the product, remembering that we only actually pay for this product when we're using it. There are no monthly subscription charges. We can report as a business how well the tool is being used and how well the staff are getting on with it. So that was just the quick introduction. It's a splendid tool. It's all about the modern world of collaboration, and we hope you enjoy the service.